So Valentine's Day's coming up. And for most people, that means cards, flowers, maybe a nice meal out. Maybe you've already booked the restaurant. But I want to ask you a slightly different question. If something happened to you tomorrow, would the person you love be financially okay? Not emotionally, financially. Because yes, love's emotional. But security, that's practical. And today I want to talk to you about something we don't usually associate with romance. That's protection. Because in my experience, one of the best, most loving things you can do for your partner isn't buying them something nice that's going to last one day. It's making sure their life doesn't fall apart if yours changes. This video is not about fear. It's not about worst case scenarios. It's about care, planning, and peace of mind. Today I'm going to walk you through what we call the 4 pillars of protection, and why, if you're in a relationship, got a young family, or even just share financial commitments with someone else, this matters far more than you probably realise. And before we go any further, let me just assure you, this is not a sales pitch. You don't need to buy anything today. I am purely here to help you understand what protection does, and why so many people only realise its value when it's too late. Protection isn't pessimism. Protection's optimistic. It absolutely assumes that life's going to continue, even if you're not able to work, earn money, or turn up the same way as you did before. And if someone relies on you, emotionally or financially, then that kind of planning isn't morbid. It's responsible. So let's talk about those 4 pillars, shall we? Let's start with the one most people have heard of. Pillar number 1, that's life cover. And life cover is really simple at its core. If you pass away during the term of the policy, then a lump sum of cash gets paid out to those you leave behind. And I can hear you saying already, you don't need it, you're young, you're healthy. And I get it. But life cover is not about you. It's about what happens after you. Ask yourself this. If you weren't here tomorrow, would your partner be able to keep the house? Could they afford the mortgage or even the rent on a single income? Would they have to sell, move, downsize? Not because they wanted to, because they had to. And life cover can be used for all kinds of things. It can clear a mortgage, pay off debts, replace lost income, give your partner breathing space. Because let's face it, grief is exhausting. And making life-changing financial decisions whilst grieving is one of the hardest things anybody can go through. Taking out good life cover doesn't say I expect the worst. It says I care enough to make it easier for those that I leave behind. That's not fear. That's love. And now for the second pillar, critical illness cover. And this one's just so often misunderstood. Critical illness cover pays out a lump sum if you're diagnosed with a serious illness. That's things like cancer, heart attack, stroke. And it all depends on the policy definitions. But here's something most people don't think about. Surviving an illness is surprisingly expensive. Yes, the NHS will treat you, but they're not going to pay your mortgage, and they certainly won't replace your income while you're ill. The NHS doesn't fund time off work, home adaptations, private recovery options, or lifestyle changes. So let's say you do survive that critical illness, which is obviously what we all want you to do, but now you've been off work for longer than expected. Your partner's having to work less in order to care for you. Your household income's dropped and your costs have increased. Critical illness cover gives you options. It allows you to focus on recovery instead of money. It allows your partner to support you without worrying about, are the bills getting paid? And it turns a medical crisis into a financial inconvenience, not a disaster. And again, this isn't about doom and gloom. It's about dignity. It's about control. It's about protecting the person you love from having to carry it all alone. And now for the third pillar. And this is the one I think is possibly the most important and the most overlooked. Income protection. Do you know more people in the UK insure their dogs than they do insure their incomes? And income protection is about protecting your biggest asset. Not your house, not your pension, your ability to earn. Income protection replaces a portion of your income if you can't work due to illness or injury. And here's the key thing. Most claims on income protection aren't particularly dramatic. They can be things like mental health, musculoskeletal issues, long-term illness, recovery from surgery. That stuff's just real life. This is the policy that pays the bill when life is just happening. It protects your lifestyle. It protects your partner from suddenly becoming a sole provider. It protects your independence. And yet most people insure their phone more carefully than they insure their incomes. If you lost your income for 6 months, how would you cope? How would your partner cope? If the answer is barely, then this pillar matters. And it's not just if you've got a mortgage. Even if you're renting, this can be a big one. And like life insurance and critical illness, income protection doesn't stop bad things from happening. It stops them from becoming a catastrophe. And now for the fourth pillar. And this is one most people really haven't heard of. It's called family income benefit. And instead of a lump sum, this one pays a regular monthly income to your family should you pass away. Just think of it as replacing your salary. It's there every month. It helps with food, heating, school costs, childcare, day-to-day life. This is about stability, routine, normality. It means your children's lives don't change overnight just because the unthinkable's happened. And again, this isn't pessimism. This is love, thinking long-term. So those are the four pillars: life cover, critical illness cover, income protection, family income benefit. And if you want to put a roof on that, you can look at private medical insurance. Not everybody needs all four, but almost everybody needs at least one. Protection's not about expecting the worst to happen. It's about making sure the people you love are protected if life doesn't go to plan. And if this video has made you think even just a little, then it's done its job. You don't need to be making decisions today, but you should be having conversations off the back of watching this video. Talk to your family, talk to your friends, talk to your loved ones. I'm putting a link in the comments below. Fill that in if you want a no obligation protection review. No pressure, no judgment, just clarity. Because the most romantic thing you can give your partner this Valentine's Day is the knowledge they will be okay. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.